Today, I'm thinking about marketing and why is it that less than 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs have a marketing background? I'm Jo. Welcome back to the Business Brief. The majority of CEOs that we see, and generally the C suite across a variety of different functions, haven't done a stint in marketing. They haven't come from marketing bottom up. Generally, the CEO pattern that we see is that they come from operations or they come from finance. It's very, very rare, obviously, as the data shows, that they would have come from branding or marketing or even have that qualification unless it's covered inside of an MBA, which got me thinking about marketers and how they can carve a path towards the C suite, towards more senior positions in organizations if they are not seen as credible commercial business leaders. What is often said of marketers is that they have a more creative, artsy side to them, which is definitely true, but potentially limits them when they're trying to get into more commercial conversations. Byron Sharp, when I had him on the show, said that a great marketer needs to be a great researcher, actually. But perhaps a good marketer actually needs to be a good accountant. We need to see more marketers undertake more financial commercial qualifications, get interested in things like pricing, to be able to confidently get into those rooms where they can have conversations that are more commercial in nature. After all, what is true is that the marketer is responsible ultimately for the brand P&L.
If you get to that C-level position, the one superpower that senior marketers bring to that table is they look beyond the sales figures. The stupidity of the very biggest businesses, very bright people sit in very big rooms looking at sales charts for a very long period of time, imputing all these things that cannot be imputed from line charts, right? All that shows you is current revenue. It doesn't tell you anything else. It doesn't tell you why. It doesn't tell you where it's going. You can look at it as long as you like, and you can bullshit as long as you like. The sales chart isn't going to tell you that. And so marketers have that power to go, well, I've got an idea. Why don't we look where that money comes from and have a think about those people, who they are, why they're buying us, why they're not buying us, whether they'll buy us in the future. Why don't we do that? And the minute a senior marketer brings that perspective into that senior room, people are super animated by that exciting insight, right? And I think because we belong to the world of the consumer rather than the balance sheet, I think, yeah, it's inherently a bit more fun and exciting, and that's got to be a good thing, right?
Confidence in the room is really important. Marketing doesn't tend to get involved in projects from the supply chain teams or the risk management teams. You're, tapping people on the shoulder to come into your project. But how are you getting involved in the projects of the other teams and functions so that you can be building that kind of understanding of their challenges and their priorities? It's very easy for other functions to get inspired by marketing and to say, yeah, I want that. I want to do that job. That's a part of the reason I think that we see so many people from other functions come into marketing, bringing their different skills into the field. But it's very rare that we see marketers step out of marketing and come into a different field. If we believe that that kind of transdisciplinary skill set is beneficial when someone comes into marketing from a different background, why doesn't it work the same way the other way around? Breadth and expansion, I think, can benefit everybody. And that's a big takeaway for me coming into foresight from marketing. I think every marketer should be trained in futures skills and futures mindsets, particularly for marketers that are very caught up in short-term cycles, in virality, that are swept up in what's happening today. What foresight allows you to do is to take a step back, to consider the drivers behind some of the long-term implications so that you can make sense of everything that's trending. All of this is benefiting how you design products, how you can get ahead of the next media platform that might evolve, the next sales delivery platform that might emerge. When you expand your horizon, you're expanding your time horizon, but also your perspective and your ability to imagine what's possible, your ability as a marketer to create a different vision for your brand. I'm now an associated partner with the Copenhagen Institute for Future Studies, which is a think tank based out of Denmark. There are online courses and in-person courses that you can take there. A 2-day course will give you the foundations of how you can think like a futurist and apply that back into marketing, or whatever other field you are in. Ultimately, what we're trying to see more of and reward is curiosity, right? As Mark Ritson said on the show, learners, we need a learner's mindset. We need more curious marketers. And I'd argue we need more curious people across every field of business right now. Thanks for letting me think out loud. If you enjoyed this business brief, please subscribe so that you get the next one. See you next time.